Hey folks, welcome back to the Leeds Gamer. Before we get into the video, do please do all the regular good stuff. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future content. And do also please like and hype the video. And also, if you are either a Leeds United fan or a football fan in general, if you'd like to join me on the Leeds Gamer podcast, then again, do please let me know and we'll get something sorted. Let's get straight into this. So, I've just watched the second half between West Ham and Wolves. It was 1-0 to West Ham at half time. And in a moment separated by about, I think they said something like 1 minute and 13 seconds or something like that. Just over a minute anyway, between West Ham's second and third goals scored by Castellanos. And then Mavropanos scored just a few minutes later to make it 4-0. So what this has done, and you can see there because FotMob's league table is a live table, that the game has just finished 4-0 to West Ham. Wolves were shocking. So weak in possession. So weak. I mean, Leeds have got to play Wolves very soon. And the key for Leeds to succeed against Wolves is to just attack them at pace. So anytime Wolves are in possession, just a really quick high press on them. They lose possession so easily. They are soft. They are weak. It's no wonder they're going down. They're terrible. West Ham are no great shakes by any stretch of the imagination, but Somerville and Bowen literally just charged Wolves down in possession, and then they got it to Castellanos, who got himself a brace. Like, so weak in possession, so weak. That was men against teenagers. I mean, it was that bad. But yeah. So what this has done, and the reason I mention all of this is literally leading me on to the official title of the video. And this is what so many neutral fans have been wanting to see for so long of this season, and that is, alright, they've got a game in hand, but at least for now, and this is 5 minutes to 10 at night, right now as of recording, on the 10th of April, I can happily confirm that Tottenham Hotspur, after 31 games, have only been able to muster 7 wins and 9 draws. They've lost 15 games, which is nearly half of what they've played. They've scored 40, which isn't so bad, but they've conceded 50 goals and have got a minus 10 goal difference and only 30 points to show for it, and haven't had a win in their last 5 games, and still haven't won a Premier League match in 2026. This is Tottenham Hotspur. They are officially in the bottom 3. They are officially in the relegation zone. And look at how close it is now, with West Ham on 32, Nottingham Forest on 32, and Leeds on 33. But again, Leeds and Forest and Tottenham, for that matter, have got to play a game so that it levels up. Ironically, Crystal Palace got 2 games in hand. That's probably down to their Conference League games, I would imagine. But anyway, so, my prediction is that Wolves might still finish ahead of Burnley, and that it could be Burnley 20th and Wolves 19th, which in the scheme of things, when you look at how bad Wolves were for the first half of the games that they've played so far, in other words, the Pereira era of this season, they were god-awful, absolutely dreadful. Rob Edwards has been able to muster a few points since, but, realistically, Wolves and Burnley are going to finish on a pretty bad points tally. Whichever team goes down in 18th won't have a terrible number of points, but it certainly won't be enough to stay up. And I mean, I have maintained that if you get 40 points, you're going to stay up. There's a load of people saying you might only need 35. I don't think that's enough with the number of games remaining. Because if you only need 35, Leeds only need 2 draws. One win would get them 36, which again comfortably puts them above the relegation zone, according to these so-called pundits or whatever. No, for me, I think Leeds need to get wins against Wolves and Burnley. From the 45 minutes I've just seen of Wolves, they're very beatable. They're very, very beatable. They're very soft in possession. You've just got to attack them at pace. Somerville and Bowen were causing so many problems either side of Castellanos that were straight through middle with Pablo Pereira just behind him in the 10. And Wolves just couldn't cope with it. Couldn't cope with it at all. You ought to see the 2 Castellanos goals as well. They're almost carbon copies. They're a pair of daisy cutters. He hasn't struck either with a load of power. The second one in particular, though, was quite good in the sense that it came in off the post. So you're not going to get any goalkeeper saving that, realistically. I mean, from West Ham's point of view, Mads Hermansen still looks shocking. But then again, Jose Sarr's not much better in the Wolves goal. So, yeah, I just thought I'd come on and have a laugh at Tottenham Hotspur because as things stand at the moment, they're exactly where we want them to be. And Leeds, as things stand, have got a 3-point advantage over Tottenham. Leeds could do with getting an extra goal or 2. Spurs do still have a slightly better goal difference than Leeds, but only a difference of 1 goal, so that could easily be rectified by Leeds if they can do something decent in the next couple of matches. And if we can give Wolves a good walloping, and Burnley for that matter, then we should be able to try and cut the deficit down with that goal difference, because I think we might take a bit of a hit against Mignolet with those 6 injuries that I mentioned. It really doesn't look good. So we'll just have to see, and it'll be interesting to see if Farker keeps his word, where he says that you've got to attack and you've got to go with it at pace and be brave against Mignolet, or if he decides to simply sit back, defend, and because even though he says that you can't sit back and defend, he'll still likely put Gruev in instead of Stark, so that it's a defensive midfield in front of the defence. So then he's contradicting himself, his own words from his own press conference. We'll see. I stand to be corrected. I don't mind being wrong, but in this particular occasion. But I even said in the match preview that I think that we should probably start with Tanaka to replace Stack, and we should probably start with Bono, because you need your players. You need players that are going to be playing in the natural positions. So, that's just my take on it. But yeah, for Tottenham, they're in a very dodgy position. They're lacking wins. they've dropped into the relegation zone. This might be the first kick up the arse that Tottenham end up receiving, because there's no way in hell that that all of the people involved at Tottenham Hotspur don't end up seeing where they currently are right now. Even if they don't look at the table, they would have known that if West Ham beat Wolves that they drop into 18th place. They know this. And their next match is travelling to Sunderland, who have a pretty reasonable home record. I think it's at home to Sunderland. Hold on, let's have a look. Yeah, it's Sunderland at home, yeah. So let's just have a quick look at the home and away records for Sunderland and Tottenham. So Sunderland are 9th in terms of their home form right now. As you can see there, they've got 7 wins, 5 draws and only 3 losses. Scored 22 and only conceded 14 in 15 games. So that's pretty decent. +8 and 26 points on the board at the Stadium of Light. Tottenham Hotspur away from home. Look at this. This match might actually be quite close. Tottenham have got an equal dose of every flavour and an equal dose of goals scored and conceded. That's mad. So Tottenham away, 15 games, 5 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses, 22 scored, 22 conceded, 0 goal difference and 20 points scored. It's got a nice rounded symmetry about it all, hasn't it, really? That's bonkers. So maybe that match will be a little closer than maybe some people might think, but again, if we look at the form of the last 5 matches, Sunderland are 10th and Tottenham are last. There we go. So look at this. The last 5, no wins, 1 draw, 4 losses, only scored 4, conceded 13, -9, 1 point on the board. Oh my god. That is garbage, to say the least. So if we look at the last 5 games, we go, alright, so you can let them off being walloped by Arsenal even though it's their main rival. There's a massive difference in quality between the two this season. Fulham are having a decent season. They're in 9th, and that was a loss away from home. So against Sunderland, it might be a similar kind of job there. Then they lost at home again. That was against Crystal Palace. Palace giving them a comfortable beating of 3-1. A 1-1 draw with Liverpool. You see that? Like, wouldn't normally grumble about that. That's a decent draw. That's dreadful though, isn't it? Getting walloped 3-0 by Forest. Oof. Ouch. It's Tottenham's home form that is going to get them relegated. Their away form might be the one little tiny saving grace that they might have. But at home, they're dreadful. They're useless. I think I heard as well that Kudus has gotten himself re-injured again. And he was one of their better players when it was Leeds versus Spurs earlier in the season. So, yeah. This is bonkers. But there you have it, folks. Officially, Tottenham Hotspur are in the relegation zone. And I'm going to say it again. I think they go down this season. I think Tottenham get relegated along with Burnley and Wolves. So, still a long way to go, still a lot of points to score, but I think they're on their way down to the Championship. And think of the damage that does to a club like Tottenham. All the running costs of the huge stadium and the fact that they won't get the same attendances. No club gets the same attendance. Well, no club with a large stadium gets the same attendances in the Championship as they do in the Premier League. Yeah, they're buggered. And I love it. So there we have it. I'll leave it there, folks. Big thank you for watching. Do please do all the good stuff. Do all the likes, the hypes, the subscribings, and hitting the notification bell. Do please leave your comments down below what you think of the chances of Tottenham Hotspur Spurs getting relegated this season to the Championship. Do you think it's realistic? I think it is. I really think it is. So, yeah, there we go. And again, if you've got any interest in joining me as a guest on the Leeds Gamer podcast, yeah, you know what to do. Let me know. I'll leave it there, folks. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye for now.